everybody, and welcome to Week 16. You heard me right. I don't know how we got here, but all of a sudden it's Week 16, and we're talking playoffs. We're talking the teams that are done. We're talking some interesting games. There's two really hot games this week, and I'm excited to jump all over it. My man Gene's in house. He's a new Hall of Famer in our community. He'll be back in here tonight talking all football and fun. Ken is here. He's going to be joining us, give us a little bit of action from the Green Bay side of it. I bet you he'll be a little bit fired up as we go into things. And my man Carney is coming back. Carney is back with a fire and flame that he's going to go. And I hate to say it, but I gotta bring this up. I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to have to be honest with everybody up front. Here's the deal. JSA Creations was scheduled to be on the show tonight. He called me at the last second, and he was like, Pete, I'm really sorry. My 49ers suck. I'm afraid of your Ravens. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to pump my arms and dance around in my little ballerina suit because I'm too scared to come on. That's the actual conversation that you just heard right there. So that's why he won't be here. I did try to fill the spot with a couple other friends, but didn't come to fruition. But nonetheless, the team is here. We're ready to go. You can find them on the front of my YouTube page, over on my website, which we're really excited what we're doing over there on the website. A lot of good things coming. Gene, am I lying about? I told the truth about Joey. Am I not?
I think he was a little nervous to pop in today. I think he was a little nervous.
Yes, he was.
Maybe a little bit.
So Zippity Doo Doug, hello. Mike Beachman, Jordan Krebs, Spencer Ramali, hello. Mike German, good to see you. Debbie Bernfeld, hello. Daniel Barry, let's have some fun. Carney is looking. He always represents. I love Carney. Doesn't back down on his Jets. Minute the Jets start losing, Jeans is wearing Cleveland Browns colors. I don't know what's going on. You know,
this is green. This is green.
That's brown. I don't want to hear it. That's Browns colors.
It's definitely green. It's like olive forest green.
I called it. It's brown. Welcome in, G. Lou. Good to see you. So Carney's here, ready to go. And Ken, how about the Packers defense? They're pretty good.
Oh, they're so good. We give Baker Mayfield a perfect QBR in Lambeau. So yeah, we're great. We're doing great.
There you go. Well, let's get into it, guys. We got some good games and we got some garbage games this week. This is one of those ones that's mid-range. The Saints are on the road traveling to Los Angeles. Rams are -4.5. Total's at 46.5. Could be a unique total. Let's start out. Gene, why don't you start it out with this one? Why not? Let's go crazy.
Yeah, the Rams have been have been one of those teams that I don't think anybody expected them to do what they've been doing. We talked a little about it yesterday. I like the Rams, especially at home. I'm going to take the Rams over the Saints.
They take the Rams over the Saints. Interesting. All right, down on Gene right there. Mike Beachman, good to see you here. G. Lou, making sure Jordan Krause, making sure I didn't miss anybody along the way. Ken, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I'm with Gene. I think this game, it's going to come down to exactly what he just said. Plus, I think the Rams are going to want this game more. So I'm taking the Rams also.
Interesting. Two on the Rams. Arnie, you going to flip a switch? What are you, popping Budweiser? What are you doing?
It's actually a monster because I have a long night ahead of me. This is starting the second half of my day, so I said I'm going to save this until the show starts. But I'm going to let that age because I have to finish my wine first. I don't want it to taint the wine.
Oh, Lord.
Kind of like how if Chris Olave plays or not will taint my pick. I also really enjoy the Rams here. However, if Olave is playing and he's healthy and unrestricted, I do think that will make the Saints score pretty often. I think that this will be a closer game. But since we're not sure, I'd rather, if I'm going to put my money on a team, it will be the Rams because we're not sure about Olave.
Okay, yeah, Olave's up in the air. God, 4.5. I think the Rams win, but I think it's closer than people think. The Saints have been playing well lately. I'm going to go with you guys. I'll go on the Rams as well. I hope that 1.5 doesn't kill me. We'll see. The Rams they're one of those up and down teams that scare the hell out of me. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, end of the season matchup, inner squad. Might as well be because they're all like each other right there, being from the north, both with winning records. Cincinnati -1.5 in the Berg, total 37. Ken, where you got it?
Yeah, I like the Bengals in this one. I don't know. I'm sure all of you caught the Bengals-Vikings game last week. Arguably one of the most interesting games to watch. I mean, action all the way through. Wasn't necessarily the highest scoring game or nothing like that, but it was a good game to watch. I like what Jake Browning is doing there. Mm-hmm. Again, it's the year of the backup quarterback. I think he's doing a great job. I think the Bengals probably win this one. I'm going to say they win this by at least 7. So yeah.
Wow, on the Bengals with 7. Chad Myers, welcome in. Elizabeth Hansen, welcome in. Carney, go ahead.
Yeah, in their previous matchup, the Steelers, I think are better on the ground in both, going both ways. I think they're better against the Bengals run, and I think they ran all over the Bengals in their first matchup.
Good.
Also, I think Reader's going to be sidelined, so that's going to only help Pittsburgh. I wish we were getting, what are we getting, 1.5? I wish we were getting more. Man, I really wish we were getting like Steelers plus a field goal.
If you send me 20, if you send me $20, I'll let you buy the 1.5.
Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I think Pickett did really well against the Bengals in the past. I'll take a flyer on the Steelers. Also, they just got for some reason Tomlin finds a way into the playoffs. And after last week, I think the Steelers are going to bounce back. I'll take the Steelers.
On the Steelers, I like it. Gene, before you give me your pick, can you read the person that gave that post and what they said, please?
Okay, so this is the one and only time I will root for the Steelers. There, I said it.
And who was it by?
Monorail Molly.
Thank you. I just wanted to document it. Gene, what's your pick?
You might want to screenshot that one.
I want a screenshot. I want to save it. Put it up on my wall here.
Yeah, you know what? I love the way Browning's been playing. But you know what? Carney's right. The Steelers always find a way to have a winning record. And you know what? There's been a lot of talk on sports radio about this may be Tomlin's final year in Pittsburgh, but I think he's going to get the team to play for him. I think they're going to upset the Bengals a little bit this week. Again, and like they said, DJ Reader is banged up. They have a couple of other things going on over there in Cincinnati. Steelers are home. I think they're going to fight like hell for Tomlin. I'm going to go Steelers.
God, you guys are killing me because you're scaring the heck out of me. I was thinking Bengals the whole damn time, but both of you made really good points on that. I'm going to stick with...
If I can add, you guys realize who's playing quarterback for the Steelers this week, right? At least from what I've heard.
Is it Pickett, right?
From what I heard, Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Yeah, you know what? I still think even with Mason Rudolph, I think that Steeler team is going to be. I think they're going to be fighting like crazy for Tomlin.
Okay.
I'll stick with my guns.
I'm sticking the Bengals. Welcome in, Chris. Curtis family in the house. I'm going to stick there. In a lineup here of resurgence, one going one way and one going the other. Buffalo goes on the road. They're a double-digit favorite in Los Angeles, minus 12.5, going out to that dumpster fire that is the Raiders right now. Carney, you want to start at this one?
Yeah, this was tough. I thought this, obviously the Bills are going to, on paper at least, run away with this. They just dominated last week. And this is the Bills team I think we were all afraid of all season long and going into this year, is that they had so much talent. Milano going down really hurt. Obviously, I don't know, a lot of turnovers in the first half of the season. But Chargers coming off their coach being fired, typically teams coming off a coach firing do pretty well with the interim head coach, at least in that first game. The players kind of react. I don't know what to do, though, because the Bills are really – I feel like the Bills are only going to get better going into the playoffs, and they're going to give us some really good football. And I hate saying that as a Jets fan. Honestly, I think even if Buffalo goes 80%, they could easily put up over 40 points. Like, I just don't see how the Chargers can stop the Bills, especially after last week with the Raiders. The Bills are so much better than the Raiders. So, yeah, it's a giant spread, but I'll take the Bills just because I don't know what the Chargers are going to do.
That's a good call. Gene?
Yeah, the Bills right now are playing like a team possessed. They're fighting to get into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to take the Chargers lightly because of that. And, Carney makes a good point with that, with the interim surge, right? Whenever you see the these interim coaches come in, the team usually gets this big push. I think you might see it early, but I think by the end of that game, the Bills are going to pull away. And this is like a 2-touchdown game, if not more.
Right there with you. Ken?
Yeah, this is such a tough pick because of everything they've said. Having to win by 2 scores, but I think the Bills are going to do it. I think that they have found – we've talked about all year what Bills team is going to show up this week. I think the same Bills team shows up this week that shows up last week because of everything these guys said. So, yeah, give me the Bills.
Yeah, I agree with you all. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit the score. That's last week's score. I agree with you guys all the way through. The Bills are just playing possessed right now, and the Chargers are not super. Chad, welcome in. He's got the Superchargers winning, though. Good luck to you, Chad, on that. Indiana and Atlanta. I don't know what, Indiana's playing better than I thought they would. Atlanta can't play up to the standards I expect. Indiana goes on the road. Indianapolis, as I should say, goes on the road. Down to Atlanta, -1.5. Falcons favored at home. Gene, start us up on this one.
I like how you changed the Falcon logo with the guy in the cape.
I could. The guy, it looked like a pervert showing his Falcon to us. I didn't want to see that anymore.
Jeez Louise.
So, I don't understand this spread because I feel like the Indianapolis Colts are playing way better than the Falcons at this point in the season. So I'm actually surprised this is the spread. I'm going to take the Colts. They have something to play for, and I know the Falcons do too. But they're a mess of a team. They are not that good. I'm going to take the Colts on this.
Okay, interesting. Ken?
Yeah, I think exactly what Gene just said. You got for Atlanta, you got Tyler Haneke, or however you say his last name, playing quarterback. The Colts crushed the Steelers. I mean, crushed them. I don't think the Falcons have any shot here, so Colts.
Colts for Ken. Carney?
Yeah, I would agree with these gents that I was surprised that the Colts were getting points. The Falcons have a ton of injuries, especially in the trenches. We don't know what any of their status is. I mean, if they all come back, yeah, we could see a real, a decent Falcons team. But what are the odds they all come back? They have a lot of injuries in the trenches. And also, the Colts have a great ability to stop the run, which I really think puts a gigantic weight on the Falcons, especially with their banged-up lines. So, yeah, I'll take the Colts getting points. I'm shocked that they are the underdog.
I'm worried that this is a Vegas trap game with the line, is what I'm really terrified of. From a gambling aspect, like, everybody should look at that and be like, wait a minute. If I tease it, I'm getting 7.5. Are you kidding me? I'll take 7.5. I'll tease the Colts with one other, and I'll bang this buck, and then all of a sudden the Falcons pull it off. So I'm going to stay with you.
I think it's very heavily dependent on who's coming back from injury for the Atlanta this week. Because I agree with you. This is very trappy. It feels like.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden we might find out that the Falcons are at 99 or 100%. And we're like, oh, well then, yeah, they should beat the Colts. So, yeah, it's very trappy.
It's a little weird. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. Happy holidays to everybody, by the way, on behalf of all the gentlemen here with me. It's perfect that Ken's going to start this one because he wants to talk about how good the Packers defense will do as a 4.5-point favorite against the worst team in the league. Ken, you're up. Packers.
So I will say, I mean, luckily it is the Panthers, but last week was the Bucs, and I know the Buccaneers are a much better team than the Panthers. The Panthers are the bottom feeders of the NFL this year. But here's the problem. I don't trust Green Bay's defensive coordinator. I don't trust Joe Barry. We've got issues in the Packers locker room right now where coaches are blaming players, and players are outspoken about that. They are outspoken about the fact that they're not going to play hard for these coaches anymore. They're not going to play hurt. They're not going to go out and the coaches are blaming players for not making the right calls, for, miscommunication, whatever. It's a dumpster fire in the locker room. Players are fed up with it. If Matt LaFleur does not get rid of Joe Barry this year, then he's walking himself out with Joe Barry because he's staking his entire career in Green Bay on Joe Barry. And Joe Barry needs to go. Packers, if you're listening to this, if you ever come across this, Joe Barry has to go. But that's my rant. I do think the Packers play well enough to beat the Panthers here. Luckily, they are the worst team in the league. So if we lose to the Panthers, yeah, I'm taking the Panthers here. That's all I'll say.
I really like Joe Barry and what's happening with Raj and Rerun. He was really good. Oh, wait a minute. That was Fred Barry. That was two different people. Carney, you're up.
Yeah, this to me seems like a trap game. Panthers are just, they're the worst team in the NFL. I mean, some people want to say it was the Chargers, but, I mean, how good is Justin Herbert, by the way, that without him, they get schooled. But anyway, Panthers, I mean, there was a crazy picture I saw online this week where they were selling tickets for like $1 a piece, and the stadium was still, like, not even halfway full. I feel so bad for the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, I do think the Packers have to bounce back here. They have they have a lot. They look so great, and then they just fall apart the last 2 weeks. I think if Jones is healthy, that'll be a big deal breaker for this game. Carolina also, it should be noted, like they have like a really good defense. Like it's not like really good, but like their strong points. I feel like they kind of match up to Green Bay's weak points. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think Green Bay wins, but I think they win by a field goal. So I'm going to take the Panthers and the points. I'm not going to bet any money on it, but if I was, I'd buy it up to 5. But I think Green Bay wins, but I think it's by less than 5.
Okay. Gene.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games you just stay away from. I mean, Green Bay beats some really good teams, and then they lose to some of the bottom feeders, right? And here they go; they got another bottom feeder, like the king of the bottom feeders. Um, I think this is a get right game for the Packers. I know that's probably too late in the season for that to really completely get right, but I think this is a little bit of a get right game for the Packers. I don't think they're going to demolish the Panthers, but I think they could put up a good a touchdown lead.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think they win by a touchdown is where I've got it right now. They got a lot of mess, like Ken said, going on right now, and they kind of got to pull this one out. This one potential for a really good game here, I think. Houston is fighting for their life over there in that division. The Browns are fighting for their life in playoffs. It's going to be interesting. This one's in Houston. On the road, the Brownies are favored with Flacco at the helm, -2.5, which is kind of crazy. Total of 40.5. Carney, how about it? Let's see what you got.
I can't give you my pick, but I can. If CJ Stroud is playing, I would bet on the Texans. If CJ Stroud is not playing, I would bet on the Browns. I don't know if I trust
as of right now,
Case Keenum. Cleveland's defense is legit, and Case Keenum, as much fun as it was watching him play last week, I think the Browns defense could really beat him up. So yeah, if it's Stroud playing, I think that the Texans will cover. I mean, the spread will adjust, but I'll be on the Texans. But yeah, if it's Case Keenum, I'm taking the Brownies.
Right now,
so put that wherever you want, based on if he's playing or not.
Right now, right now he's out. Right now,
so then I'm taking the Brownies. Give me the Browns.
Okay, Carney's on the Brownies. Gene?
Yeah, I agree. That defense is too tough, I think, for Case Keenum to come off the couch, and well, not off the couch, but you know what I'm saying, to be as a backup to come, be able to do anything. And Flacco's looked good. Flacco, listen, is he a statue back there? Yeah, but that line's protecting him. He's found a nice comfort, comfortability blanket, comfort blanket with Njoku. Yeah. I like the Brownies.
Gene's on the Browns. Ken?
They pretty much said everything that I had to say. If Case Keenum is the quarterback, if Stroud's not playing, there's no way. I don't think the Texans beat the Browns here. So, yeah, same pick.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. There's to me, I don't see the Case Keenum against that defense is going to be incredibly tough for him to pull anything out. Browns have been playing well, and Flacco's, he's not going to carry the team, but he's going to play well enough to keep him in it and give him a chance to win. And that's kind of really all they need. So, Chad says he's got the Browns. We should keep Joe cool all of these years. Okay. Mike James said CJ would be the learn a thing or two from Flacco. Molly says Browns all the way. Mike German says Browns. So a lot of love on the Browns in this one for that game. Interesting game. Could have been a better game, I would think, later on in the years, but right now it is what it is. Lions, only -3 going into Minnesota against quarterback, insert name here for Minnesota. I don't know who this is going to be the quarterback this week. I don't think if they've named Dobbs or whoever, but Gene, what do you got in this one? The Lions on the road -3.
I think it's still going to be Mullins, right? From Minnesota, I believe.
I think so.
With that, yeah. So even with that, though, I'm still going to take Detroit. Detroit's playing for some seeding right now. I think they've looked weak at times. It's so weird because there's times where they look like world beaters, and there's other times where they just don't look like they're the Lions we were hoping for them to be this year. But I think they come out strong this week, and I think they take the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, Ken?
Yeah, this is one of those games I look at, and I'm like, what outcome would be the best for the Packers, right? First of all, the Packers actually playing good football would be the best outcome for them, but also saying that, like, it doesn't really matter what I think is the best outcome. It's what's actually going to happen. Yeah, I think the Lions are just too strong for the Vikings. But, the other problem is the NFC North, like every division play is so tough. You never know what's going to happen. NFC North's no exception. But I do think the Lions are too tough for the Vikings here. So give me the Lions.
It's crazy that we're talking the Lions in this vein all the time now. Pete, what do you got?
Oh, man. I really love the Lions ever since what's-his-face became the coach, Danny Boy.
Dan Campbell.
But, yeah, I think the public is pounding the Lions because they just saw them put up like 42 points last week. But the thing is that the Lions match up against the Broncos really, really well, where I feel like the Lions and Minnesota has kind of some advantages in some of those matchups. Mm-hmm. I don't think I think we're going to see a much closer game than people believe. I think I was on the show last time they played, and I was like, I just feel like Minnesota can cover these points because of their matchup. So I'm going to stick by my guns from the last show and say it again, is that I will take the Vikings getting the points because, getting 3 is wild. Yeah, I think they match up great against the Lions. Although I like the Lions, but they say don't bet with your heart. So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings.
Carney's going to get
Oh yeah, baby, this is the way.
He's going to be the lone wolf this week because I'm gonna say Detroit to me has just got the better team, more to play for right now. I know the Vikes are at home; they are a better team at home. That does help the number there, but I think that Campbell will get those boys fired up and get them going in the battle of the game that nobody's going to watch because right now they don't know what's going on.
Whoa, the game of the week.
It's going to be a tough one here. Gene's already got his head down. Carney, I'm not even going to do an intro here. Washington is a dog on the road. Jets are favored at home. Carney and Gene, I'll let you go back to back. Carney, start us up. Do they cover?
No. Oh, boy. I'm just rereading back what I wrote earlier when I looked at this quick because there's no way I'm betting on this game. Like you said, no one cares, and I'm so sad. You know what's even worse, too? Like, we had no hope like a few weeks ago, but really the nail in the coffin just being smoked by Miami. I still have an awful taste in my mouth. Also, how do we put up 30 points 2 weeks ago and then not score a single touchdown any of the weeks leading up to that, which still would have given us a shot now, and then maybe Rodgers would have played. But anyway, as a Jets fan, my life is perpetually disappointing. They should lose this game. The Redskins should win because the Jets are the Jets. For some reason, whoever is the quarterback in the round robin could be a guy from the third row we pull up. They'll find some kind of crazy backdoor magic and for some reason ruin our draft pick and pull out a win. But I'm praying that the Jets just do the right thing and just take our season as another loss and let the Redskins, Commanders, Washington people have their win. So I will personally be rooting for Washington, and I think you should too.
Okay. I'd like to acknowledge that I am definitely an advocate of backdoor magic.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think that quarterback, Carney, I think it's going to be Fireman Ed this year.
Oh, my God.
Honestly, it's probably a really good option.
It might be the only option. Listen, they have disappointed me all year. But here's the thing, too. The coaching staff's not going anywhere. So I don't think there's that pressure where you're going to have the players fighting for the coaching staff because they're trying to, make sure that they stick around. There's no secret here that they could lose out the next 3 games. And Saleh and Douglas and everyone's going to be back next year because they need to run it back because of Rodgers. So I don't think there's any importance to really to play with any fire or any passion because you're not trying to save anybody's job. You're kind of just playing out the string. And listen, we need a left tackle in New York. Let's lose some games. I want Joe Alt from Notre Dame. That starts today. Carney, Joe Alt.
Yeah, I totally agree. We need help, and also I would also agree. I didn't bring all this up, but yeah, our coaching staff. People are talking about them leaving. No, our year was messed up because of an injury 4 plays into the season. Joe Douglas did an amazing job putting a roster together this year. The fact that we even held our own and beat teams like Philly and everything else is amazing when considering we have no quarterback at all, and it's a shame because our backups are so bad. The drop off level. It's like if you and Madden, we had a 99 and all of our backups are like in the 30s. It's just you can't have a winning team in the NFL with awful quarterbacking. So
exactly.
It is.
So I'm taking Washington. And let me tell you something. Like Carney said, if the Jets win, it's the most Jet thing that they could do is win this week.
Yep.
Ken?
Yeah, I feel for you guys. I really do as a Packers fan. We're, obviously different roads how we got here, but we feel the same. This game, so first, I think it's a good thing that Rodgers is not coming back for many reasons. A lot of what Gene and Carney said here, it takes the pressure off the Jets to win. They don't have to worry. I mean, the coaching staff is going nowhere. They started this season. I believe the coaching staff, no matter what happened this year, their jobs were safe from week 1 when Rodgers went down. That just, for the entire season, that took all pressure off of them because what do you do in this case, right? You planned around Rodgers. Rodgers is out. I do like the fact that Rodgers is not going to play because I think this rest, he's healed. He's got this rest. Now he comes back next year. As long as he stays healthy, I think the Jets are going to be a totally different team. But for this game, I don't know. I do think the Jets have enough to beat the Commanders by 3 points. So give me the Jets.
Oh, God, it hurts. It hurts.
Sorry,
because I
man.
know you're going to be right. It hurts because I know you're going to be right, and it hurts. It hurts.
I'm taking
But next year, you guys are going to be great.
I'm taking the Jets just to upset those two. That's the whole reason.
Oh, God.
The only reason.
Come on.
Seattle and Tennessee. Gene, talk to us about this one. See, Seahawks lost the other night. They're minus 2.5 in this game on the road at Tennessee.
Yeah, you know what? Seattle, big win. Was it last week? Or 2 days ago against Philly. You know what? Tennessee's been such an up and down team. I feel like they're going to be a sneaky good team against Seattle. There's something about Tennessee that says they're going to pull this one out. I'm going to take Tennessee. I don't know what it is. There's just I just have a feeling about Tennessee this week.
Interesting. Okay, Ken.
Yeah, I don't have the same feeling Gene has. I think the Titans are a mess. I don't think that's going to change. I don't think it's going to be a big blowout. I mean, Drew Lock beating the Eagles, is that going to happen again? I don't know. Whoever saw that coming? But I do think the Seahawks win this by a few points. So, yeah, I think they can easily win by a field goal. So I'll take the Seahawks.
Okay, Carney.
I don't know. A lot of this depends on Smith's groin. And I really, I don't like putting weight on another man's groin, but it's really going to be decided on how heavy I bet this game. They both actually match up offensively fun against each other because, like, the Titans have, like, a pass funnel defense where, like, Seattle's dynamic receivers will have a field day, a grand old time with that. However, the Seahawks give up a lot of rushing yards, so Henry should have a real good day as well. The big thing is that how will Locke play a lot of the game, most of the game, some of the game? Because if Locke plays, they're going to go into that run-heavy attack, which actually plays into, I think, the Titans' game plan. So betting that Smith won't play 100% of the snaps, I will take the Titans getting the points.
Two of you on the Titans. It's weird when I'm agreeing with Gene, and I'm going to agree with Gene on this one. I think it's a mess down there in Tennessee. I'm going to throw my pep over there to the Seahawks on the road to just run Walker, and in case you didn't know, they're probably going to give the ball to Walker and see if he doesn't have. I think he could have a pretty big game. It'd be interesting to see. Here's a game that I thought could be originally wasn't going to be that great, but maybe it will with the way Baker's playing. The Jaguars almost in a must-win situation. But how about this? Tampa Bay and Baker are favored at home by 1.5, total of 43.5. Ken, start us up on this one.
No, my bitter side that Baker Mayfield got a perfect QBR in Lambeau says that Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are still not that great. But neither are the Jaguars. I mean, they've been kind of up and down all year. Being that this is a minus 1.5 Bucs at home, this is not a game that I would probably put any money on. But I'm just going to spitball my pick here. Give me the Jaguars because I'm bitter.
Jaguars because you're bitter. Carney.
Yeah, nobody take that advice. It's bad advice.
Pete, what do you got?
Yeah, so again, this is another game that I'm not betting and that we have to kind of check to the very last minute because, again, Trevor Lawrence could play in this game. And I think if Trevor Lawrence plays, I will be betting the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, as of right now, they're saying he won't be playing is the latest. That's what I'm hearing. So if that's the case, then, yeah, I guess I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I just think that as good as the Jaguars are in some areas, their weaknesses are really where Tampa Bay excels. So I just think they can run up some points there. So, yeah, with Trevor Lawrence, I take the Jags. But as of right now, since he's not playing, I will take the Bucs.
Okay. Gene?
Yeah, same thing. If Trevor Lawrence, even if he was playing, I still might not even take the Jags actually though, because he's been banged up. He hasn't looked good as far as that a high ankle sprain. I got to take the Bucs in this one. I just don't trust even if he's going to play. I just don't think he's healthy enough to play. So I'm going to take the Bucs.
Yeah, that's going to give Carney the run there. Let's see. We'll go with
Sparkly Pink. You still get the big saber.
Whoa.
You should give the little lightsaber to Sparkly Pink and the big one to her mom.
Always give the big one to her mom, and that's what Carney's doing today, as he's going to go, or Ken's going solo, because I'm going to go on, God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to go on Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Ken's going solo. You get to give the lightsaber to Pink Sparkly's mom. Congratulations.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, Pete can start us up on this one. Arizona and Chicago. In past years, this could be a really good game. I don't know what you're going to get in Soldier Field this week. The Bears go in there -4.5, -4.5 with a total of 44.5. I don't think weather's a factor, but it is Lambeau, so anything can happen. Pete, what do you think about this one?
Are we talking? Wait, which game are we doing? We're doing Bears. Oh, I'm in the wrong game. Sorry, I was about to comment on the Cowboys because my order is wrong. All right, so what do I have? We're doing Cardinals Bears.
Yep.
Let me see what I had here. Yeah, I'm not going to be betting this. However, I do have an interesting take here. The Bears were only 3-point underdogs when this opened. Now they're up to 4.5. Which means I guess a lot of those big Vegas bettors put a lot of money on the Bears early to drive that line from 3 to 3.5 to 4 to 4.5. So to me, they must know something I don't know. The Bears aren't as bad as people say they are, and really the Cardinals, I think, are people give them more credit than how bad they are.
Okay.
The Bears are at home. I think that I don't know. I like the Bears. And again, they got crushed by the big players in Vegas when they were at -3. So yeah, I mean, they must know something I don't, and I don't really care about this game. So I will take the Bears -4.5.
Okay, Gene?
Yeah, it's that 1.5 that has me worried. Like this is like I can see the Bears winning by a field goal. The extra 1.5 really scares me. I'm gonna go with Arizona keeping it close. I'm gonna take Arizona.
Wow.
Interesting. Ken?
Yeah, so I partially agree with something Carney said, that the Bears are better than what people portray them to be. I think they are now. When the season started, I think the Bears who everybody thought they were. They've improved. Their last 3 games. I mean, they only lost their last game. They almost won that with a crazy Hail Mary that just didn't work out. Because it's Arizona, I think the Bears win this by at least a touchdown. So I'll take the Bears, and it pains me to say that.
Ken on the Bears.
They did put together a great highlight reel of all the missed Hail Marys and messed up plays in the end zone by the Bears this season, and it was gold. I don't know how to share it or talk, but go look on like Instagram or anything video site and just put like Bear Hail Marys or Bears in the end zone. And wow, I didn't realize this season how many drop touchdowns they've had in the end zone. It's hysterical. Sorry to cut you off. Figure we'll just add a little bit of time since JSA Creations isn't here. I'll just throw some more things out.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals to keep it close. I think this one of those games could go either way, flip flop with me. That 1.5 there at the 4.5 makes it interesting. All right, now we're going to get to the Cowboys in Miami. Gene will start this one up. Cowboys on the road. They can't win a lick usually. Miami's still in a big game. They don't want to lose another one before coming up here to Baltimore. Miami -1.5. I did see that Hill is out. Hill is definitely out for Miami. So I don't know if that makes a difference in your play. Gene, start us up.
Yeah, you know what? That does make a little bit of a difference, but we learned a lesson with the Cowboys on the road this year. Cowboys just are a different team against winning teams on the road. I'm going to take Miami.
Gene's on Miami. Okay, Ken?
Yeah, so both these teams last week, I mean, the Dolphins won by 30, Cowboys lost by 30. Cowboys have been a great team all year. But I'm with Gene. They're going into Miami, onto Miami's field. So I don't think the Cowboys win this one. I'd give me the Dolphins.
Carney, you going to make it a clean sweep on the dais today?
I hate clean sweeps. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, we saved it. Yeah, I don't want to bet with Miami. They just destroyed my Jets, and I'm tired of watching Miami be so good at football. I've really been loving Hard Knocks though. Listen, here's the deal. The Cowboys, there was McCarthy hinted that Zach Martin may be coming back, which would be a huge deal because the Cowboys have had no protection. And also, if they can protect Dak, they play so much better, where I also think the Cowboys will do a much better job of getting to Tua than Miami has been used to with some past matchups. If Zach Martin plays, I really think the Cowboys will be fired up, especially after being embarrassed, like so embarrassed last week by the Bills. I feel like they got an extra fire lit underneath them. They have the same records going into this game after being embarrassed. And with Zach Martin coming back, I'll take that over the Dolphins coming off a 30-0 win and feeling great about themselves. So give me the Cowgirls.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys also simply because I need to root against the Dolphins this week. So I'll take the 1.5 and take the chance that my rooting pays off and the Cowboys actually win one on the road, which would be like a shock that they do that because they just can't win on the road. But we'll see. New England Patriots. This is a Sunday night football game, everybody. Christmas Eve, and by the way, I'll be broadcasting it. Minus at home, the Denver Broncos minus 6.5 against the Belichick fading Patriots. Ken, start me up.
Yeah, I think the Broncos also are going to be fired up for this one. Plus, they're playing the Patriots, who have just not been a good team this year. I'll just put it simply like this. Patriots, finish your season. Belichick, come to Green Bay. We need a coordinator. Go Broncos in this game.
Wow, a coordinator.
A coordinator.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Wow.
Welcome into Ryan Rowe. Pete, you're up.
Yeah, to me, we talk about trap games. I feel like Vegas is begging us to bet the Broncos at minus 6.5. Like, they're begging us to bet the Broncos, which scares me. I don't know. The Patriots have an extra day of rest. A touchdown is a ton of points. I don't think they're going to give up. I don't think Belichick lets them give up. Again, I talk about like trends in the news when a lot of people tend to throw a lot of shade at the Patriots or Belichick. I feel like those are the weeks he turns it on. I used to say, granted, this was during the Brady era, but like when the Patriots were coming off a loss, everyone was talking about, do they still have it? Is the dynasty over? Like Belichick and Brady would just light it up the next week after they were dragged in the mud. So you know what? I'm going to go back to the old Pete Carney and say, this is too many points. Ooh. I feel like Vegas wants me to bet Denver. Denver should win by a touchdown. They should. But I just feel like this is very sneaky. Something is rubbing me the wrong way. My spidey senses are tingling. So I will take the Patriots. Honestly, I wouldn't bet this, but if I can get a full touchdown at +7 and by the half, I would take the Patriots. Why not?
Okay. Gene.
Yeah, listen, the Patriots have been just abysmal this year. They're on the road, away from their families on a holiday. They're going into Denver, who needs to win. I know that Wilson hasn't looked great the last couple weeks. He's kind of come down to earth a little bit, but I can't see Denver winning by less than a touchdown on this game. So I got to go Denver.
Gotta go Denver. Okay. This is a tough call for me here on this one. I've kind of gone back and forth on it. I'm just going to take Denver at home. I'll leave Carney out on an island. I'll take a chance on it. Denver at home. We'll see. Carney loves being on that island. He usually does pretty well when he's on the island. So.
Well, it's not even my pick. It looks like whose logo do I have there?
What's that? Oh, you got. I hit Bryson. I hit the wrong one. My fault. See, it's a good.
It sounds like they're making this pick, which is fine because I don't want any responsibility for it. I'm not going to do that.
No, there you go. Now you're on it. They're both green. When I was looking at it on my screen, it looks the same color, so that's why I hit it. Raiders and the Chiefs in a game that would be good in other years, but I don't think this is even close, in my opinion. Kansas City has been up and down. They got to get right. What's up, Road Warrior? Kansas City at home. Carney, start this one up. -10 in Arrowhead.
So, again, I feel like this is Vegas begging us to bet the Raiders. The Raiders just dominated the Chiefs. What made it look like they were playing a high school football team last week. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have been struggling, and that's all kind of the storyline has been, is that are the Chiefs what they say they are? Are they going to turn it around? Are these Chiefs done, or are they just stumbling? I feel like all these storylines are playing into this spread of 10 points. Yes, the Raiders are going to be so much better. Crosby is healthy. They're better coached in this matchup than last time. But I feel like, again, they want us to bet the Raiders. I think Kansas City starts to figure it out. And if you've noticed anything about the Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs, when it becomes into these weeks of the football season leading into the playoffs, the last few years, he is like so automatic. Or he like lets the Raiders score, and if anyone's a live better out there, you get a better line and just pound the Chiefs after being down a touchdown in weeks like 13 on in the last 3 years, and you're a rich man. So I'm going to take the Chiefs -10. I could see them even being down a touchdown early and then just Mahomes turning it on. It's that time of year, and the Raiders are coming off hearing about how great they are a week. It's time that they play a real team, and the Chiefs are going to set them on fire.
Okay. Gene?
Yeah, I kind of agree with everything Carney said. I think this is one of these games that's going to be close by the halftime to the point where you think, oh, wow, maybe I should have took the Raiders. But I think the Chiefs pull away at the end. Heavy dose of Travis Kelce, Mahomes to Kelce. And, yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Okay. Ken, clean sweep down there?
Yeah, I think one good thing that came out of the Chiefs blow up last week, I think Mahomes and the Chiefs are embarrassed. And they're not embarrassed by bad play. They're embarrassed by Mahomes' tantrum. I said that. His temper tantrum. I think that's a lesson last week. I think Mahomes comes back from that. I think he was probably humbled a little bit. Obviously, I don't know this. I'm spitballing this, but I think that's how he responds to how this last week has gone. I don't think the Chiefs lose this game. I think they win this game by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. Everybody said clean sweep for me for Chiefs also. Another game on Christmas Day, middle of the day. There's 3 games on Christmas Day. The Jets play the Eagles. Jets play the Eagles. Gene, I know you want to talk all about how much you love the. Oh, that's right. It's the other New York team. Yeah. Oh, Gene. Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to talk about the Giants.
That's okay. It's okay. And you know what, before I give my pick, I do want to say one thing. We talked about it yesterday, where I killed Tommy DeVito and his agent for not appearing at that pizza place. Well, it got back to Tommy DeVito, and guess what he did? He showed up and he did it for free.
Really?
So you know what? Kudos to Tommy DeVito. He, like a man, stuck by his word. Went, and I'm sure it was more the agent really kind of like that messed that up. And when it got back to DeVito, he made sure he went. He went, did it for free, didn't ask for a cent. So kudos to Tommy DeVito for doing the right thing. Having said that,
I asked him to appear. He wouldn't appear.
I don't know. Maybe it was his agent. Maybe it was his agent. But you know what? Having said that, the Giants are in a free fall. DeVito is not the guy. As much as the Giant fans on sports radio up here was saying after the Green Bay game, he's our franchise quarterback going into next year, which was absolutely ridiculous. I think the Eagles, who have been on the losing end of or on the poor end of some games lately, I think they bounce back in a huge way. They're home against a bad Giant team. And I think they put a hurting on the Giants this week. I think they're going to be up big early, and they're just going to keep. And I think they're just going to keep the score running. I'm taking the Eagles.
Lynette D, welcome in. Great to see you over here. Thank you for stopping in. She is a big supporter of Pete and his channel. Ken, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I'm with Gene. Talking about DeVito, right? I'm going to say, I've said this in a few games. You can't look at a quarterback beating the Packers this year and saying they're a franchise quarterback. Did DeVito and the Giants play great in that game? They absolutely did. The Packers played horribly. The Eagles looked terrible last week. I don't think that happens 2 weeks in a row. There's also some Jalen Hurts frustration I saw, but I think he's going to be okay. I think the Eagles win this one big.
Okay. Carney?
Totally agree. I think this is the perfect game for the Eagles this time of year. They've been, on this kind of a downward slide. They were being praised the first half of the season that they're the greatest team in the NFL, and then they came back down to earth, as I said they would. And I told my Eagle fan, I have a lot of friends that are Eagles fans. I don't know why. But I told all of them, this is exactly what's going to happen. And I wish I recorded it or I'm put it out there. I said the Eagles are going to dominate the first half of the season. They're going to go into this little bit of a slide, and then they're going to have to really turn it around. And this is the perfect game. They're going to dominate the Giants. The Giants have no answer for the Eagles in almost any of their matchups. The Giants have a pitiful receiving squad. The Eagles crushed, when Jalen was healthy last year, crushed the Giants both times last season as well. I think, again, this is going to be an easy get-right game for the Eagles. So, yeah, I will take the Philadelphia Eagles.
When you're in high school and you knock out the guy that's going around, one of the bigger bullies in the school, they get back up usually and they get pissed. And the Eagles have gotten smacked around these last 3 weeks. They're due to have a game. They're at home in their own hometown. Giants are do that. And in reference to DeVito, I'll just remind you that when Sonny ran his mouth, he got whacked. So, just saying. We'll see if he doesn't get clobbered by Cox or somebody else coming across that line and knocking him and his agent in the next week. I like Philly.
Toll booth.
And the other game that could be the game of the weekend, we get it on Christmas night. So I hope you'll be here for Monday Night Football with me, hanging out. Surf Bum John, hello. Welcome in. Hello. My Ravens play in San Francisco. 49ers are -5.5. Total is 46.5. And Gene, why don't you start this one up?
Yeah, this is a tough one because the 49ers have really punched all the good teams in the mouth this year. Aside from that 3-game losing streak where they were dealing with injuries, when we've talked about it before, when those 6 or 7 guys are all healthy and they play together, they're undefeated. And again, they've literally they've punched them in the mouth. The Cowboys demolished, Eagles demolished. Cross country though, on the road against a very good Baltimore Raven team, one of the better teams you guys had in the last few years. I don't think they win. I think the 49ers still win, but I think the Ravens keep it close. I'm going to take the Ravens.
Taking the Ravens. Did you say they don't win?
I think the
You're muted. I can't hear a damn thing you're saying anymore. Go ahead, Ken. You're up.
Oh man, you want to go ahead and mute me real quick, and then we can get that over with. I mean, I got to agree with Gene. Now, not on my pick. Hear me out. I think the difference in this game is McCaffrey. In San Francisco, I don't think the Ravens have enough to beat the 49ers. 49ers are one of the better teams in the league this year. They're exciting to watch. I think this entire game is going to be exciting to watch. But, man, that minus 5.5 scares me. Yeah, I think it's closer than that. So I think the 49ers win, but I have to take the Ravens. Sorry, Pete, for that confusion.
Barney, Ken just got booed. You're up.
Am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
Oh, all right. Well, if you don't like their answers and they're both on the Ravens, you're going to hate what I'm about to say. The 49ers are the best team in the NFL, for sure. I also think that with their pressure on Lamar, he won't have as much time to throw to those wideouts, and I think that's going to give them a real challenge on offense. On top of that, besides the 49ers defense, I think doing that kind of beautiful work, they're dominant. I mean, we just talked about CMC on the ground. The Brock Purdy's back to playing the way we thought Brock Purdy played. Yeah, we were kind of down on him in the middle of the season, but yeah, he's showing that he's really, truly an MVP candidate. Also, just a fun thing, West Coast teams on night games tend to win a lot more often than teams traveling to the West Coast for a night game. So since the 49ers are at home on Christmas night, just another weird thing over the history of many years in the NFL that plays their advantage. I think that this will be a very close game all the way through, but I do think the 49ers win by a touchdown. So I'm going to be on the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet against my team on this one because it's the end of the season and we're going to the playoffs. But, what I can tell you is it's not going to be an easy game. I agree with everything that Pete said. I do think, and I've said it before on here, that the 49ers are the best team in football right now when they're all healthy. And they're going to be trouble for anybody to take out my Ravens or anybody else. If they play as a team and if they play all together, that is a tough spot. So real quick here before I go over to the guys, just want to remind everybody, I've got one heck of a schedule coming up here this week. These are the games that I'll be broadcasting, everybody. So if you got a friend or somebody that loves football, tell them to come over and see me. It'll be a good time of year to do it. Thursday night, we got that one. Saturday, I'm doing a doubleheader, 4:30 game, Bengals and Steelers, 8 o'clock game, Bills and Chargers. Christmas Eve, I'm doing the Lions and the Vikings at 1 o'clock. I'm going to do the Giants and the Eagles as a Sunday night game up there. Then you got the Ravens playing against the 49ers on Monday, which is it's a lot of good football. And I'm looking forward to all of it. Ken, tell everybody what you got going on over your channel. They've been dropping links in all night for you guys. I really appreciate it, moderators. Thank you. Ken, tell everybody.
Yeah, appreciate it. We got a big weekend coming up. Saturday, we're doing what we call the Beard Community Christmas Party. Those of you that don't know what a beard community is, it's a lot of us that have beards and we hang out and talk about beard products and beards and all kinds of stuff, but it's Christmas. So we've got a stream Saturday night. Going to be a lot of company owners on kind of coming in and out, giving away products, talking fun Christmas stuff. So that's Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we're live on Mondays, going to Sundays permanently in 2024. So yeah, if you have a beard coming out, we'd love to have you.
Gene can't do it because he's Amish. Go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually be taking a couple weeks off for the holidays, but typically you could find me on Mondays. We do the Disney Villains Club with me, Joey D. Tina's on that show, and Greg's from Disney Fanatic Blog. Tuesdays you can catch me on the recap show with you, which that will be happening this next week.
Yes.
And also on Big Fat Panda channel with the Disney Underground. So, but we're taking those 2 weeks off on both those other shows. But you can find me here the next 2 weeks with you, Pete.
I don't take days off, Gene.
No, you don't.
I'm not allowed to. It's in my contract.
You're the Iron Man. You're the Cal Ripken who?
I signed a contract with myself, and I agreed to it. So I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't pay myself properly. Gene, congratulations again to him. He was recognized this past week in our Disney community as a Hall of Fame person of the community. And props to Carney, too, because Carney had a lot of love in the voting process. And I see the Carney crew are going to probably get him recognized in the next couple times that we do it. Pete, you've been doing some great stuff over on your channel. You're a busy man. Every time I turn around, you're playing Santa Claus or doing something. You got everything going on.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. It's a great time of year. We're going live when we can. We'll be live both Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow and the next day, we'll be doing live streams from here around Orlando. Also, we have a ton of edited videos that will be coming out while I'm in New York, as well as shorts. I may even be live from New York when I'm back home. And then I'll be back here in Orlando for the last few days of the year, the 30th, 31st, where I'll also be DJing at SeaWorld. You can catch me on the 2 main stages, counting down to the New Year 2024. If you're in the Orlando area, come see me at SeaWorld on New Year's Eve. But yeah, go check out the channel, Adventures by Carney. We're going to keep the content coming even while I'm in New York. And we're on our way. We're trying to push to 10K. So thank you for everyone who's helped and supported the channel. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Ken does a great job on Monday nights with his beard community. If you are a person with a beard, or if you have a family member that wears a beard consistently, go over them. It's some good stuff. It's products, it's content, it's all. I've actually watched it. I don't have a beard, and I've actually watched Ken's stuff and said, "Wow, this is pretty good content he creates." And Carney is fantastic. Are you going during the day, Thursday and Friday, Pete? Tomorrow?
Oh, say it again. Sorry.
Are you going at day or at night these next 2 days?
It depends. We might do a double stream one of the 2 days. I'm waiting to hear back from a certain venue if we can go at night, but it may be both. Okay. I would just say come check it out. It really depends if I hear back from this place. We're going to change our whole schedule, but
hit the bell.
As of right now, it's going to be day and night.
I'll be over there saying hello. I love putting him on the background as I'm working, just listening to him go around the parks. And if you didn't check out his, was it Instagram? Was it the story with the Grinch on Instagram? That was really good.
It's on our YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The Instagram, you saw it all night here. The TikTok and YouTube's Adventures by Carney. But we had a great 3-minute interaction with the Grinch where I was dressed as Santa Carney, and the Grinch. It was a good interaction.
It was good. Go check out these guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. If we don't see you, this will be our last show here before Christmas. Holy crap. That's, hard to believe. So, All right. Good night, everybody. Go check out these guys.
Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas.
We'll see you
Merry Christmas.
Have a good. Hold on.